So last night I decided that I wanted to make pupusas salvadoreñas. It's something that I grew up eating. I never actually done it myself, and the last time that I assisted making it from scratch, I was probably like 7 years old, maybe 9 years old. I don't know. So I've never actually done it myself, and because I don't live anywhere near my family, I can't have somebody make it for me, and I haven't been able to find a restaurant that makes them here. And I think if there is any restaurants that make it around here, they're Mexican restaurants. And based on my past in California, going to a Mexican restaurant and getting a pupusa is different than getting a Salvadorian one. So I am attempting to make this on my own, and yeah. So I'm following a recipe that I found online that looks similar to what I remember the way that my mom and my grandma used to make them. So we are attempting this. So I have uh, 4 big tomatoes, but I think you can use almost any tomato. I think you can use like the little tomatoes, like these little ones. So if I end up needing extra ones, I have these, because this goes in the mixture of the pupusas and it also goes in the red sauce. I don't like there's like a coleslaw type of thing that goes with this food, but I've never liked it, or I stopped liking it in my teen years or whatever. So I'm not gonna make that. It's vinegary and my husband doesn't like it either, so we just eat pupusas with the red sauce and that's it. So I have my tomatoes. I have a chopped up onion. The recipe said 3/4, so I didn't use this part. So I got that out of the way. It burned my eyes a bit. Based on what I've seen and I've read, you use the vegetable oil if you can't, because you're supposed to get chicharron, which is like the pork rinds almost, or I don't know, something along the lines of that. But I think it is pork rinds. Anyways, but the way that to do it, because I don't know where to get that specific meat around here, or if I do know, it's like an hour away and I'm not gonna go an hour away. So anyways, the way that you do it is you add probably like a tablespoon of oil into the pan. You put this in there, you let like the fat and the oil start to melt off, and then you let this get like really crispy, because that's the texture that you want it to be at. You're adorable. Yeah.
Hey June. June. Hey June. Hey June. What's happening, June? Hey June. Who's that, June? Who's that, June? Who's that? Hey June. Hey baby. Hey Junebug.
What's going on? Okay, so we got the pork chopped up into smaller pieces so that way it's easier to grind up after it's cooked. And we're also going to use garlic cloves. These are the only garlics that I had, so this is what I'm using. I'm going to use two of them and cook it with the pork. My mom told me 2 or 3, so I ended up calling my mom for help. Meat is starting to brown a little bit from the bottom, and I'm gonna add the garlic in there right now. Like I said, I'm just gonna be using like 3 cloves, or 2 cloves actually. So here they are. I'm gonna dump them in there. So I'm just turning the heat up on this one. That way it can start actually cooking and crisping. It's still a little bit pink, but it'll be done. And then I have all this chopped. I didn't even show that I used a little bit of oil. Oh my gosh. You're also supposed to use beans. I don't think I have like beans to cook, but I didn't buy any beans when I was at the store because I had this can of beans, and I've had this can of beans for a couple of weeks and I haven't used it, so we're gonna use that. It has to be ground up beans anyway, so that'll work. So this is getting ready. It's the water already evaporated on it, so it's starting to brown now. It started like sizzling and everything, and like just oil was bouncing everywhere, so like it did burn my arm a little bit, but you can't tell. So I'm just gonna let it get like really crispy, and then we'll go from there. You can see it's starting to crisp up a bit, and it's getting the nice texture that we want it. I'm just gonna let it keep doing that for a little bit longer. And yeah. So right now I'm just gonna wait for this stuff to cook. And because we don't have a blender or a food processor, we are actually just going to use this hand processor. It's got the container, it's got the blades, and they're pretty sharp. I accidentally cut my finger on one of those one time when I was washing it because I don't know, I didn't think it was that sharp. And then it's just a pull string, and it makes this thing spin. So that's what I'm using. Hopefully we cut up the pieces small enough, and when it starts getting brown like this, to season it with the Knorr chicken bouillon. So one thing that they said to do if you're cooking the meat this way, I don't know if it's the same thing if you're cooking it with the right meat or however, but because it has oils, you want to empty it or put it on paper so that the oils get soaked up. So we ended up switching to a blender because that wasn't chopping it up enough. So we're using this. But I got 4 cups of flour, some salt. All we have is pink salt. It says to use warm water, so I'm gonna start with 3 cups of water. Maybe start with 2. And oil mixture just so that the masa doesn't stick to your hands while you're making it. And it is mixed a little too much, but now we know for the next time to not mix it so much. Gotta mix it. You're supposed to use more of a Mexican cheese, but we don't have any. So we're using mozzarella cheese. So now I'm not following any instructions. I'm just going by what I remember when I was little. Let's see how that goes. Bit of oil, just so that I can like fry a little bit, but we don't want it to be too greasy. Okay, so here goes. We're putting the oil and water mixture on our hands. We're gonna get a bowl, and then you just keep grabbing oil so that it doesn't stick to your hands. Gosh, it's breaking. Ah! Come on. It's breaking. We're gonna try again. They're a little fat. They're not supposed to be that thick because then it's harder for them to cook in the center. This one was the first one. We're gonna try this one in a bit. Ooh, that one opened up.
Pupusa. Pupusa.
We're trying the first one.
Pupusa.
This is the very first one that I made. You wanna hold it so I can cut it open? Are your ancestors speaking to you? One, it's hot.
Look at all this, man.
Gross, dude. Okay. Oh gosh. Ow, it's hot.
The sauce.
I don't have the sauce yet. We're trying this first. Oh my gosh.
Well.
It's missing something. It's not far off though. So I'm gonna make the sauce right now before I continue to make the rest of this. But I gotta make it quick. finally finished. I don't even know what time it is. It's been a couple of hours. My camera died, so I stopped recording. I ended up adding more cheese because it wasn't the right mixture. It still isn't the right mixture, but it's close enough. So this is how they came out. They're not horrible. They're all different shapes and sizes. These are one of the last ones that started falling apart. Like all of my last ones started falling apart. We're gonna sit down and eat, and I still have a lot of leftovers, so I'm gonna figure out what to do with that. Okay, bye.